Good evening. This is A View from the Bridge, official podcast of the Belfast Giants or kingdomofthegiants.com. Today's Tuesday, 27th of January, 2026. My name is Patrick Smith, joined by the Belfast Giants statistician, Mr. David and and welcome back the local hockey legend that is Simon Kitchen. Over the next hour or so, we'll be bringing you the news and views of the Belfast Giants of the last week and a lot more beside. We're live, we're on demand, we're on YouTube, we're on X, we're on Facebook. You can listen to us through all the really good podcast providers. If you're watching live on any of those platforms, drop us a line, drop us a comment. You might see your things or your comments below us as we go along on this week's show. 5 points from 6 over the week for the Belfast Giants. Wins over Guildford and Dundee made a streak of 7 that was snapped by the Storm in overtime on Sunday. Let's talk about that. Nicholas Guay will be along to chat to us. And ahead of the game against the Coventry Blaze, we invite a young lad called Mack Stewart. That's new to me. He'll be on to chat to us later on. There's departures, there's sackings, there's open letters to talk over, and a lot more beside. Mr. Majemse, good to see you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sis, been a while. You all right?
Yeah, I haven't missed it at all, man. I've enjoyed Tuesday nights mostly. No, but it's like there's just so much going on, and I was hoping to make it last week, obviously with the news and we play a game, what have you. But yeah, I was hoping to make it last week. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. You two are a bit of crack every once in a while, so you may get your finger out tonight.
we got a guy there saying snap on the Keith Drury print there behind you. There says on the wall.
But honestly, every time I don't know if you can see the whole thing.
I'd love one. I'd absolutely love one, but I just don't have the money for one.
It's
someday.
You don't have Simon's money. That's the thing.
No, look, you know what, man? I didn't go on one extra. I just took one holiday away and bought that.
I haven't been on holiday since 2017 yet, so I don't have that.
Well, just to let you know, I'll not be on next week because I'm going to Lanzarote. But thanks for asking.
You will be on next week, mate, because the last time you were in Lanzarote, you jumped in the swimming pool live in the View from the Bridge, fully clothed.
I'm also going to expose Simon here. Kevin Madden has asked if he changed the smoke alarm battery, Simon.
No, I haven't had time.
Is that why you're sitting in front of the Drury print?
That's exactly why I'm sitting in front of the Drury print. However, I haven't taken steps for it because of a couple of things need done about the house. Michael Barr is going to be coming down one night this week, along with I need to get the CO2, not the CO2. The CO2.
No,
are you all right to be living on your own, like?
I don't know. She hasn't got a clue either, but everything's good, man. It's still everything's in one place, but we're good. Just like we're already 5 minutes in, and we're boring the crap out of people.
I've had a day. I'm on the Jamesons, big whack of Jamesons here. So let's see how this goes. I'll be View from the Bridge, everybody. Right, let's talk about these 3 games. Belfast Giants took on 3 games over the last 7 days. And it was a win over Guildford, a win over the Dundee Stars, and then an overtime defeat to the Manchester Storm. Let's start with that Guildford game, and let's hear from the coaches.
Good game. I mean, obviously, again, not the end result, but overall, happy with how we competed, happy with how we played, and to be fair, it's a 1-goal game. I know there's the empty net one at the end, but in these games that are so tight, it is your special teams, and obviously we got scored on the kill tonight, and then we had a couple of power plays that we didn't generate anything off, and that's the margins in these games right now, and it's hard to take, but I thought we competed really well tonight against a very good team. I mean, they are number 1 in the league for a lot of reasons, and you can see that. And I think for the last 5 or 6 games, they've only given up 1 goal against, so they're very, very good defensively. But I thought we were right there tonight, and it's them margins again, isn't it? So yeah, tough one. But on the positive, we just got to keep going here. The games are thick and fast here. We've got a tough weekend again, but we've just got to stay on the up and try not to be too down with this result tonight, because I thought performance, it was where it needed to be tonight.
I thought it was a bit of a, just kind of sloppy. Just didn't seem like things were that crispy for either team. It wasn't our worst performance, wasn't our best, but I thought we had some key moments in the game, big penalty kills, big power play goal. Obviously, a big goal there by Mike Lee there to give us the go-ahead. Some real big saves both ways. I thought, obviously, DeFazio had that one right on the goal line, and then at the end, probably a game-saving or at least a point-saving save for us by Jackson there inside the last couple minutes. And like I said, I talked to the players before the game about it doesn't need to be our best performance or our prettiest performance, but we got to find ways to gut out some more road wins, and I thought they did exactly that tonight.
Guildford opened the scoring with Ethan Strang in 17 minutes 42 before the Belfast Giants hit one back in the second period through Gabe Bast on the power play. Mike Lee scored early in the third before David Goodwin rounded it out with an empty netter. Justin Fazio in nets for the Flames. Jackson Whistle in nets for the Belfast Giants, and your two referees were Joe Sewell and James Irons. There are teams who have had problems, Davy, in Guildford, and they did score first. Your take on the game as a whole, because I felt that despite they scored first, we looked pretty strong.
That's our third visit there, I think, this season, and all three games have been so tight. I think it was 2-1. Maybe lost the first game, won the other two by the other goal. I think that Adam's obviously much more knowledgeable than I am. Winning ugly sometimes has to be done, and I wouldn't say it was that ugly, but we should have came out of the first period with something. So they had done well to go in in the lead. We sort of, I think, took the game over a wee bit in the second. We deserved a good power play goal from Gabe Bast. You know, the cross back the go-ahead goal by Michael. He just holds the puck just that little second to allow the D-man to block Fazio's sight, and he just whips it across him to put us in the lead, and then obviously the empty netter. But as Adam has said as well there, an unbelievable save from Fazio with the stick. I thought Kieran Long in an empty net to bag it into. I think he thought he had to. Fazio somehow got the stick down on it. It was a long review that didn't have a camera over the top of the net, so no goal line tech, but they had a camera behind that they were able to establish that it hadn't quite crossed the line. And then Jackson Whistle comes up with a save with maybe 2 minutes or something to go. They really piled it on. Not sure whether the goalie put at that stage or not, but he comes up, big chest save. Scrambled a wee bit. Obviously, we'll not be happy with that goal against there in the first, a little mistake. But, you know, we dug in. I thought a very good road performance. It felt at the start like it was a Wednesday night game on the road. You know, there was a little lack of energy. But once we got going, and got our legs underneath us, we were good for the victory. Very, very tight game again. You've said, Paddy, there will be teams there that'll drop points at the top end of the table over the rest of the season. We needed 9 and went there at the weekend and didn't come away with the win. So to come away from Guildford with 2 points, a Paul Dixon team is always hard to beat at home, and we should be pretty pleased how the series has went there this season.
I think Justin Fazio coming back in. I think he'd been out for a while, hadn't he? So I think that the Guildford fans were looking forward to him coming back, and you know, both he and Jackson. And I think this is his case right across the weekend as well. For like Jackson says, put on a clinic. I think so some of the saves from Fazio I thought were excellent.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the game live, but went back and watched it that night when I got home, and you know, there was times when I thought we were really, really good. But I think it was a too many men penalty. Basti got his goal on, wasn't it, Davy?
Yep.
You know, when you get those penalties and you actually,
yes,
you know, you punish the teams, the coaches absolutely hate it. When you get those too many men, I mean, we've had far too many because some of our guys can't count the six. Not so bad this year, but in previous years,
it was terrible. We've had years where it was absolutely desperate.
I know. I mean, I remember. I think we got 3 or 4 games in a row a couple of years ago when we got too many men penalty, and it's so frustrating. So when you punish the team,
I think we're only at 4 says, and we're almost at the end of January. So it's not a disaster.
Yeah, but when you punish the team for taking those mistakes, it's a big plus for you. But I mean, listen, Jackson has been fantastic in January. I know we're close to deciding who's on Player of the Month. For me, it's not even a decision for anybody else. Jackson Whistle should absolutely get Player of the Month in January. We shouldn't even have to go to 4 different votes. He's been phenomenal. 7 games in a row, I think it was, or 6 games in a row, conceding 1 goal. And then obviously the 3 there at the weekend. And he was absolutely phenomenal this month. So, but coming out and Dusty getting that goal and then Mike Lee scoring a real good with a great finish. And as Davey touched on, Guildford is not an easy place to go into. They are a decent team. They have some really, really good players. But again, when you capitalize on mistakes, you take your chances, and you come out with a 3-1 victory. There's going to be teams, I agree totally with Davey, and then there's going to be teams going in there between now and the end of the season that are expected to win and don't.
Just very quickly looking through my book, we lost 2-1 on the 22nd of October. We won 4-3 in a shootout on the 29th of November. And then we've had the 3-1 with the empty netter. So all one-goal games, really, 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 really tight down there. So to come away with, 4 points out of 6 is no disaster.
Absolutely not. 4 points out of 6 from
on what Simon was saying there about a month. I was actually thinking about this. I was looking at the dates to see if we had any more January games in case we're talking about it tonight. Couldn't agree with more of them. I haven't spoken to them about it.
One more January game.
One more January. I haven't looked at. I'll look up the stats for next week when we're talking about it. But the amount of W's Jackson Whistle has had this month, heavy workload as well, and it just keeps coming back with big save after big save. The thing we used to talk about the Van der Sars and all as well. In games where shot count against is low and the goalies have to keep their concentration, like last Wednesday night, I think it was 24 shots against maybe for the Guildford Flames. So they're not in the game. 24 shots across the course of 60 minutes isn't that much. You've got to be concentrating so hard, and to come up in the last minute of the game with a point saving, a victory making save is just been outstanding this month.
The one thing that I would jump in there with, it's when you look at Jackson over the years since he signed for us in 16. I know he's taken he's got lost a couple of times, and ended up coming back again. But Jackson, when he was a lot younger, 10 years ago, obviously, he was a completely different goalie. He's got that experience behind him now. He's not lunging as much. His positioning's really good. When you look at the games against Sheffield 2 weeks ago in Belfast, and yes, we won 5-1 and 7-1. I'm going to be honest, Sheffield probably should have been 3 or 4 up at one point in one of those games. And if it hadn't been for Jackson, they probably would have been. So, he's been absolutely phenomenal. And hopefully, again, we know when you get to this stage of the season, and you do need a backup goalie to come in and play the odd game. But when you get to this stage of the season, you need to be riding your goalie. But right now, Adams right in on Jackson because he is playing that well.
Nice comment from Matty Carlton there. Climbed the ladder, I think is what he was. Who was that? Ram Martinelli? Did he have to come out and apologise for that? Dear. Right, it was a victory for the Belfast Giants over Guildford. You can get the highlights from that from Flames TV. Great commentary from our friend Anthony Russell. You can get that on Flames TV on YouTube. We move on to the game that took place. The first game that took place at the weekend, which was the top v bottom as the Belfast Giants took on the Dundee Stars. 3-1 win for the Giants. Let's hear from the coaches.
I thought we did just enough to win. Didn't love the performance overall, but we did some real good things. I just wish we would have kind of kept going. I thought when we got that third goal, we just kind of stopped playing. I thought Dundee kept pushing there, which put us under fire a little bit. But like I said, we did enough to get the job done tonight, and I'm not going to complain about that. I thought Jackson was very good. And we made some big plays there to secure enough of a cushion to kind of see us out of that last 6 minutes, with no real stress. So, like I said, not our best performance, but we got the job done. We're certainly going to have to be better tomorrow, though. We're going up against a very good Manchester team in a very tough building, and we have to tighten up.
I thought we competed hard all night. The effort level was there. We made it tough on them at times. Obviously, getting down 2-0 is never ideal, but we kept at it, kept going after these guys. And there's no quit in our team. I know things haven't gone well this season so far in the way we expected to, but lots of hockey to be played. Efforts like that, we're going to give ourselves a chance every night, but we've got to carry that on here the rest of the games. Big game at home tomorrow against Glasgow, that's a team that's desperate for points as well. And but like I said, the effort and compete level were there tonight. Obviously, we're disappointed not to get the points and where we're at in the standings and how things have gone so far. But this team hasn't quit. We're going to keep going back after it, and we're going to get ourselves ready for a big game tomorrow night.
Marcus Ericsson opened the scoring. We'll come to him later. Marcus Ericsson opened the scoring. David Goodwin made it 2. Nicholas Guay made it 3. And Morton Jurgens pulled one back for the Dundee Stars. In goals, you had Jackson Wessel and Jack Fisk, and your referees were Daniel Ferguson and Vitas Lukasevicius. The night, Simon opened, of course, with a moment for Blakey. Some lovely also captures that come from it, not least the little plaque that's on the way and now in the tunnel. A lovely moment from the club to remember one of the greats.
Yeah, it was an emotional day. The wee man, as I say, we've seen him the night before and the week before, obviously. And the funeral was the day before, and a massive turnout for the funeral. The church was full, and there was, I think somebody said there was like 1,800 people watching online for the funeral as well. So it just goes to see and show how many people, that they were touched by even Blakey meeting them or seeing them or talking to them over the years. And I think the tribute was very apt and very well put together. From the words of David McCammon right the whole way through the video that was put together by Neil and Adam. It was sort of Adam's idea about the wee plaque and trying to put something in place there, because when the boys always come out and give wee Blakey a high five, a fist pump, and they miss seeing him, and like, I don't think it's going to hide many. I'm not talking out of turn. This has definitely affected some of the boys this last 10 days. There's some of the boys were very, very upset on the Saturday night after the game against Sheffield when they found out that Blakey had passed, and even coming into that week, even the Wednesday at practice, I remember saying to Adam that practice looked awful, and he fully agreed with me. But literally leading into it, it's all the wee things that matter, and it was really, really nice touch. 7,000 people standing on their feet, applauding, the memory of Blake as well. It was very, very well put together. The biggest part of the night as well was the Giants coming out with a 3-1 victory against a team that are fighting for their lives, and it was really important. And to get off to a good start in that game, I thought we were really good early on. To be honest, after the 20-minute mark and you're only 1-0 up, you're really knocking on the door to try and get that second goal. And I thought the game was a bit lackluster for the last 40 minutes, if I'm honest. But to get that second goal and sort of give you a bit more control in the game to make sure you're doing the right things and creating good habits, and coming out on the end of that 3-1 victory was absolutely massive for us, for sure.
You saw the difference between the two sides, Davy, in the performances. I felt that outside of maybe Fisk, I didn't see much coming from the Dundee Stars.
They've had a horrid time sort of since late October. They started so well in Challenge Cup competition. Had our number a few times as well, and it looked like it was going to be a good season for Mark and his team in Dundee, but that was kind of just fell apart. And there's signs of green shoots within games, but not for any length of time. There's good shifts. There's periods that are good, but they're just not putting enough together to, hasn't been very many 60-minute performances there. It's just hard for them, and they're in trouble there in terms of, I don't think they're going to get into the playoffs. I don't think by far either. I think 13 points now with games in hand too for the likes of Glasgow, who obviously we'll talk about them later as well, but they'll probably get a little bit of a rebound from a new coach coming in, and I would imagine they'll separate away from Fife and Dundee. So it's hard now because they've got almost half a season to go, and precious little to play for you.
Yeah, absolutely right. I think Belfast Giants more than good for the win in this. And just a comment that is we'll not spend too much time in this, boys. I think the comment there from Scott as well, just saying that the B Lake on the back of Ben Lake's jersey. I saw that and I thought is absolutely spot on. What a lovely little tribute. And who was it? Ben came up with that. Who clocked that? That's perfect.
So it sort of, I didn't know this story. Laura was saying to me the other night about it. So Blake sort of had, back when Laker was playing for Coventry, he liked Ben Lake. And then obviously when it was Ben Lake and B Lake, and Blake sort of kept that, kept that, and it was B Lake. And I mean, Laura calls, I'm always wondering why Laura was calling Lake or B Lake every once in a while, going, sort of looking and going, what's that all about? Yeah, that makes sense. And it was Laker that came to Laura. But it was one day or beginning of last week and said that could he do it, and was it okay to do it with the league? So we checked with the league. The league said it was okay. I thought it was a fantastic touch and a lovely idea from Laker. And it was nice to see on Saturday night for sure.
Great to get the win that night as well for wee Blake. And that's a fella we'll always be thinking about. A 3-1 win for the Belfast Giants. You get the highlights on YouTube. One thing about the highlights as well, and I actually came in middle of the first period watching this. I was like thinking to myself, whose voice is that? Well, that's Gareth. Whose voice? I know that voice. That's Boxy. What's Boxy doing? And I realized obviously Boxy was over but the having Boxy on and then having Gareth and Deco doing it, all of that was brilliant. I'm not disparaging the likes of Stevie and Michael, but I thought that Boxy and Deco were just brilliant on co-coms. It was very entertaining. A lot of people, lads who know their stuff, and did it really, really well. But the highlights, you get those on YouTube. One thing before we move on to the next game quickly. Yes, Matty Carlson was absolutely right. It was actually Kevin Rain said climbing the ladder about Jackson Whistle when he moved to the Sheffield Steelers. And then Kevin Rain came on to A View from the Bridge to apologise. Rightly so. Right. The last game of the weekend was against the Manchester Storm at the Drizzle Dome. It was an overtime win, a 3-2 for the Manchester Storm. Coaches.
Yeah, I liked our game a lot. I thought everyone stepped up, honestly. I think after last night, kind of visiting that one back, there's probably a few guys that really felt like they underperformed last night in terms of execution and maybe just sticking to our game plan. But it's all about how you react, and I thought we brought a pretty good game tonight. I really liked our first period. I thought Belfast kind of took it to us in the second, but again in the third, I thought we really pushed back. Some big goals, obviously Daly with a huge one there. Cutsy gets a tip in early in the third, and with this quality of ice, you don't want to get behind late in the third because it's pretty choppy out there, obviously. But I thought Wisp was really good in net for them. He made some really key stops on some grade A chances, but we just stuck with it. And then Lauren Ulett, he's a little banged up right now, but an absolute beauty in overtime. Starts with a track, makes a good play, takes it upon himself, shoots through a screen, scores goal.
Probably the right result tonight. I thought Manchester did more of the simple things tonight in this building. The ice surface is horrendous out there. Probably does not benefit my group. But it's the same for both teams here. We have to find ways to play the right way in this building. I didn't think we did it tonight. I didn't think we generated enough offense. We didn't do enough to make sure we won that game, so certainly probably a point gained in this building. And the power play, if we had gotten a little bit more composure on it and got something out of that, maybe we win the game. That being said, the PK had a big 5-on-3 kill there and a couple kills there in the third period to make sure we got that 1 point. So we'll take the positive from that, but yeah, it's obviously a big point loss in a tight league race. But it's got to be a bit of a wake-up call for us that you have to keep going. We got to keep playing. I didn't love the overall performance of the last couple games in terms of the standards that we want to play to, and I thought we followed that into tonight a little bit. and we got stung. So you have to reset and go again next weekend. Obviously, so much needed rest. There's been a lot of hockey here with the middle week game, so point lost, but also I guess a point gained, all things considered here. So we'll move forward.
The scoring was opened by Dallas Earhart coming through traffic. Gabe Bast made it 1-1. Then Brandon Whistle, his first weekend since the start of December, made it 2-1 to Belfast Giants. Early in the third period, Brandon Cutler made it 2-2, and that went all the way to the regulation before we went into overtime. And Lauren Ullett with a lovely goal, and then celebrated a lovely goal to win it, and then celebrated by knocking the plexi out of its place. Drew DeRitter in goal for the Manchester Storm. Jackson Whistle in goal for the Belfast Giants. Joe Sewell and Oliver Truswell were your referees. Do you want me to talk about this, Davey? Or do you want to?
I'm just looking at the swimming pool that the guys were expected to play on there.
The third period especially, I thought was disgraceful. Honestly, was disgraceful. I thought that the ice looked horrendous out there. We have Nick Guay waiting in the wings. I'll bring him in very shortly. But I thought that like there wasn't even testing to see throwing the puck. Sometimes in Manchester you see them throwing the puck down to say and shoot, see if it travels. There didn't seem to be any testing of it to see if it was fit to play on. Like we always talk about how bad
it looked pretty soft. I'll give it that. It looked pretty slushy out there. Adam said same for both teams, but perhaps suits the home team a little bit better with the way they play.
I thought ultimately in the early exchange in this game, I thought we were doing really, really well. We had them pen back. We had majority of the puck, especially in the first period. Majority of the puck, majority of the chances. Yes, the first goal comes from a bit of a weird knock, and Welsh sort of hits it with his hand, and it goes into the back of his own net. And there we go. We take the lead. Sorry. That's how we equalise after Dallas Earhart shoots through traffic. But honestly, thought that they took the lead against the run of play. I thought we played really well, probably through 40 minutes. And in the last 20 minutes, I think we struggled in bad conditions. And that summed up the game for me. I'm not going to take it away from Lauren Illett's winner. I thought the way he takes it from his own blue line, cuts inside and fires it down the right-hand side and pops a water bottle. Lovely finish to the game. Lovely goal. And the atmosphere in there was great. But maybe a bit of a tired play as well from I think it was Kawaguchi coming back. He just sort of waves a stick at him when he maybe could have taken the puck away. But ultimately, I thought that we probably did enough to win that game without actually hitting the back of the net enough. Davey?
Listen, I thought that the kill at the start of the third period was unbelievable.
Super.
Under pressure, 5-on-3, seen that out. 5-on-4 shot out.
45 seconds of a 5-on-3 penalty kill.
I actually texted you and coach on the buzzer saying this is a good point. Make no mistake. I think that was a good rule point in terms of the goal against at the end. I think Jake and Gooch and maybe Basti were out on the ice, and they got caught in quite a long shift because they'd had a couple of opportunities for rushes up ice, and then we couldn't get a change. And it's just one of those. I think it was just a tired play towards the end of the game. You're 63, 64 minutes in, playing on bad ice. You're tired. So it's been a heavy week emotionally and physically. And I think you can excuse this one. And at the end of the day, it was a weekend when we increased our lead at the top 8 points. So we'll take the positives out of this for sure.
Yeah, with defeats for the Cardiff Devils and defeats in regulation for the Nottingham Panthers, it's a valuable point. Says how bad with regards to Manchester, trying to play in conditions like that in the third are always going to be really, really difficult. But Manchester know how to play there, and that's what they do.
Yeah, look, it's a tight arena, and the things happen very, very fast, as Adam said over the years, and if you're not prepared for it, and you make simple mistakes, and you get punished for them, and like the bottom line is, it doesn't matter what the ice is like. It's there for both teams. They might be used to doing that. That's fair enough. Just get back to keeping it simple. Get it in behind them. Go and work your tail off and try and get the opportunities when they come along. But you both just touched on it there now. I'm looking at it as a positive. Getting the point in Manchester. When you look at the last 7 games, and we've got points in all. I mean, we won 6 of them, and I got a point in the 7th. 13 points out of 14 games at the start of the year, you've got to be absolutely delighted with. So I don't think Adam's going to be disappointed with it. Would you have liked to pick up the second one? Yeah, absolutely. But when Nottingham lost at Guildford, Cardiff lost at Sheffield, who have had it tight for the last few weeks, definitely a plus point more than a minus point in my book.
Absolutely. And as I was saying on the way out, we always seem to lose one game in there in the season. There always seems to be one where we drop. So getting the point, I think, was very, very valuable. Right, let's just leave that at that, because we've got guests waiting in the wings, boys. The highlights are available on YouTube from the Manchester Storm. Our first guest scored against the Dundee Stars on Saturday night. He can pass, he can score, he's going to get us one more.
No.
Come on, Nicholas Guay, watch him play, scoring every day. Please welcome Nicholas Guay. How you doing,
Hey
mate?
guys.
Do you hear us? Turn your phone 90 degrees if you could.
Okay.
And I'll fill the screen for us.
Better?
And a big, that's perfect. And a big thanks in the background to Mack Stewart, who's just done the same thing before we bring him in. Thanks, Mack. Give us your take on the weekend, mate. Well, it's a good week with regards to five out of the 6 points available. But riding high at the top of the league, you're taking how we've been playing recently.
Yeah, I mean, we were definitely hoping to get 6, especially after a tough, emotional week, I think, for a lot of the guys on the team. Didn't play our best game out there in Manchester. It's definitely a tough rink to play. And I think we've talked amongst ourselves in the group that lately might not have been our best hockey. So we were gonna get stung, and we did get stung to a good Manchester team. Honestly, they're quite fast and kind of a crazy rink, but they know how to play in that rink and situation. It's the same ice for both teams. Same small surface. So yeah, but out in general, we're quite happy with the way the past 10, 15 games have been going.
We were talking, and we heard from Adam in the post game with regards to the conditions on the ice in Manchester from the player's perspective, from the guy at the step out there. I was in the rink watching, and I thought it looked like a swimming pool, as Davy said. It looked really tough.
Yeah, I totally agree. Definitely the first time I went to play there, I was oh my God, I felt like I couldn't push on the ice, I couldn't skate, I couldn't do anything, right? And you have so much little time with the puck and stuff, so you just kind of have to chip the puck and try to go get it, which isn't always my favorite kind of play. I like to have the puck on my stick. But so yeah, this weekend I was quite in the mindset of just all right, I know it's going to be bad, just keep it simple. And it kind of affected me less than the first game that I played there. So I didn't really think about it this weekend, but yeah, it definitely wasn't great.
There we go. Bonsoir, Nick. Ça fait longtemps que vous n'êtes pas venu ici. Comment allez-vous?
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yep. Can you hear what Davy was saying?
Okay.
Davy was trying to speak French to you there. Did you hear?
What a disaster!
No, I didn't hear.
Disaster.
It kind of cut me out for a bit there. I'm struggling with my sound here.
Probably leave it at that.
Nick, it's not you. It's not you. It's his Northern Irish French accent. That's what his problem is.
No, but I can hear Kitschy. I just can't hear Davy, I think.
It's probably for the best, Probably
You don't hear him at all?
No, not at all. Is he
Crack
trying
on,
to speak French?
Kitschy. We'll come back to me.
Type out your question, Davy. I'll ask it.
I type it out. Nick, obviously you had your dad in last week. It's always good to have family in watching you. You must, I know you were trying your heart out to get a goal over the weekend that your dad was here, but he must have enjoyed being here and obviously enjoyed the 2 wins for the team.
Oh yeah, all season I've been telling him how great of a setup it is here, my apartment, the rink, the fans, and how much he's gonna love it in Belfast when he comes to visit. And so having him here, he was kind of like, okay, now I understand like what you're talking about. Like this is crazy. The fans are crazy, the atmosphere and stuff. So he was like just so surprised that hockey was so big in Northern Ireland, even if I had told him. And he was like, like I wasn't expecting like such knowledgeable hockey fans. They know hockey, the sometimes you go to games in the States or something and fans are cheering for no reason, but that's not the case here. Fans know the game, and when they comment about the game, they know what they're talking about. So I thought that was quite funny because I had told them all season how much Belfast loved hockey. So yeah, he definitely gets it when I say that I really like playing here.
And there's tell us about the relationship and how you obviously got to come to Belfast, but your dad used to play with Steve Thornton.
My dad played a little bit with Steve Thornton. Yeah, I think it was in the American Hockey League or something, if I'm not mistaken, or
Yeah.
maybe in Germany. But it was a short stint, and I remember like my dad. He told me right before I came to Belfast, he was like, "Well, I've played with Steve, and just such a great guy." So yeah, they got together for the game for a little chat, and they got to meet up. Yeah.
You're obviously the past weekend getting that goal on Saturday night. You had a bit of a dry spell over since after Christmas and New Year, but you could see that you were a bit relieved to get that goal on Saturday night, and obviously it was an important one for us as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think throughout seasons you're gonna have games where you're gonna score 5 games in five goals in 5 games, and then you're gonna have games where you don't score for a while, and that was kind of the case for me. Like I think when I get hot, and I get that hot stick, and I can ride it for a few games, and then it was just a period in the season where puck wouldn't go in. It wasn't that I didn't have chances or anything. I mean, I had good chances in those games against Sheffield, Nottingham, and puck wouldn't just wouldn't go in. So, and these things happen. You just gotta keep going. But yeah, there was a little bit of frustration on my part, and quite the relief when that puck went in against Dundee.
When you have those sort of like cold streaks, and I don't wish them on any forward. I don't wish them. When you have some of those cold streaks, when you have that streak, you want to be in. You want to do the same things. You want to follow the same way. You want to get the same stick. You don't want that stick to break. You want to. But when you're in the cold streak, in your head, how are you battling that? How you think? Are you just thinking, do the things basic, do the things properly, be in the right positions, and as long as the chances are coming, I'll find the net.
Yeah, exactly. Me and my line mates, Jake Goddard and Jordan Kawaguchi, we talk about that a lot. How like we keep it simple, and we know we're good enough that chances are gonna come. Whether it's in the third period, whether you get no chances in the first 40 minutes of the game, you might get three in the third. We talk about that all the time, and eventually, when you create chances and you retrieve pucks and you're playing the right way, the puck's gonna go in. But sometimes it's hard not to think about it and not to put that bit of pressure on you. But I think so far this year I've been pretty good at being like showing a little bit of temperance. Like when I'm doing well, I try to still focus on the right things. When I'm not doing well, even more like keep it even more simple, make even simpler plays. So
Yeah, I think that's the insight is that it's getting those chances, and if the chances aren't coming, then you're probably more worried than if when the chances are.
yeah,
The
yeah, for sure.
the it's been no, you've been now in Belfast for well over 6 months or so. How do you find the city? What do you think of the city? What are your favorite parts of the city?
I mean, I just like to go for a walk, and honestly, like I'll walk from the SSC where the ARC apartments are,
Yeah,
and I'll go to Orr's Butchers. I'll go around that area, pick up a steak, pick up a coffee at whatever coffee shop is down there. And since I'm doing my MBA, like maybe study for a few hours. So that was my routine before Christmas, and I would do that most weekdays, and found a lot of fun doing that, and kind of keeping my mind sharp, because as a hockey player you kind of have a lot of idle time and a lot of time sitting around, so it's good to have something else that I can focus on, and keep my mind sharp, and then when hockey comes around, I'm refreshed, so yeah, I mean, the city is just amazing. I have a lot of good restaurants that I like. Just me and my father, we went to the Morning Star and had that
Oh, nice choice.
humongous, the 2 kilogram steak, tomahawk steak. So
Good
that
choice.
that was something to finish. Like, both of us, we finished that steak, and maybe maybe not the best thing before the night before a game, but
We were
I'll
just talking about when you're on a cold streak, get a steak into
yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
That's how you
yeah.
do.
But I'll definitely know for next time.
Davey, let's have one more try. Maybe we can get something in before he goes.
No, I don't know whether you can hear me or not. Nick, but just like
Is
I
that a
can
yes?
hear you now.
still,
Yeah,
still
yeah.
none, still none.
You
Paddy?
can hear you now. You can hear you now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, you've switched it off there. You've switched it off.
You switched it off.
This isn't going well. This isn't going well. Anyway, I've nothing left to add. I was listening into the conversation there. It was lovely. So
Okay, one last thing. Obviously, where we are in the season, and this is what we call the business time, where we're going to be in the run-in. Probably a bit of a new experience for you with regards to the league being the biggest prize, and that's what we're racing for. So every game from here on in is big. How's the attitude? How's the form in the room?
Well, I mean, I've kind of been personally. Well, I think a lot of guys are treating it like this also. That, like, every game's a playoff game, and that's definitely the mindset that I come in with, like, every game, pretty much. And I've been doing that my whole professional career, right? Like, and that's just the gear that I know, and the only way that I know how to play is give my best, and prepare accordingly. So, and I know the guys have been doing the same thing. So we're ready, and we want to win a lot of trophies, and we're in a great position to do so. And we just take that step every day, every day, every day. Do the right things, practice the right way, get your reps in, and you end up at the end of the season, you got a great season behind you. Hopefully, many trophies. So, yeah.
Here's hoping. Here's hoping.
Yep.
Lucas, thank you very much for joining us. Have a good weekend.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for having me.
Big thanks to Nicholas Gay for coming and joining us. Good to hear from him. Right, we do have the game on Friday night against the Coventry Blaze, and we thought we'd have a chat with somebody within that Coventry Blaze lineup, somebody that we know very well. Please welcome back to View from the Bridge, the one and the only Mack Stewart. How you doing, buddy?
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Can we just test something first of all? Davey, say something to Mack.
In French or just in general?
In anything. Can you hear Davey? That's all I'm
Yeah, I
asking.
can hear him.
What about you, mate? Oh, go on.
First questions first. How are you getting on in Coventry?
Yeah, I love it here. I mean, there's always the comments about the city not going to be the best, but I love it. I love the city. I love the fans. I love the team's great. The organization, everything's unbelievable.
What's it like playing under Kevin? He seems a bit eccentric at times, but he seems like he really enjoys what he does.
Yeah, he is. He has a passion for his job, which is nice. Like he focuses on all the players. He helps all the young guys individually. Him and Batesy, the assistant, they both take their time out of their days. They help us on and off the ice. So yeah, I really like working under him.
How's it been, Mack, getting decent ice time and developing your professional career here in the IHL rather than maybe down in the league below the previous season?
Yeah, it's been so much better for me. It's obviously so much faster in the league below and more physical. So at the start of the year, I was kind of like, oh, geez. But now I'm starting to pick it up a bit. I feel like I'm playing better, getting used to playing more minutes in this league, and yeah, I think it's helped me a lot.
Answer the question all the Belfast fans want answered, Mack. You ever see yourself with the teal shirt back on? Don't destroy Coventry. Don't break Coventry hearts.
Go for the diplomatic answer, man. Diplomatic answer.
Yeah, probably one day. I don't know when, but I would obviously like to put it back on.
Simon?
Me? Nobody typed my name, so I just carry on. Mack, what's it like having to skate past the Giants bench and your dad wanting to chirp you?
Yeah.
I try and get the chirps in before he does. So no, but it's pretty cool seeing him on the bench. I like. It's probably cooler than having him behind me because I actually get to like look at him a bit and see what he's doing.
And see when you're, I mean, obviously you sat on the Giants bench for the games that you did, and obviously having your dad behind you, it must be a difficult one for him and for you as well. That he's obviously urging you to go on and do more and progress in your career, and obviously you've taken that step to go to Coventry this year. As Davey touched on, I mean, you're doing fantastically well. Every time I see you, I mean, I remember the first assist you got this season in Guildford. The pass was just
belter,
off the charts, fantastic. But you've got that. We all know you've got that in your locker. But you playing the different systems, and now that obviously you're in Milton Keynes last year, and you're listening to the different coaches, and you're having Kevin Moore now develop your game to this level. Or trying to help you on your way. How is that going for you? Are you enjoying that part of the game? Because obviously you're playing with really good players all day, every day, and it must be nice again to have a couple of familiar faces. Obviously, you've got Mismatch from last year. You've got Barriga. You probably know a couple of younger lads from GB as well. That must be helping you settle in.
Yeah, I mean, when I first got here, I was kind of like obviously a bit nervous moving away. And because every time I've moved away, I've played with either like people I've like Carter, Kami, Kel. Like I've always played in a team with them. So no, like my first day here, I met with David Clements, and he introduced me to a couple of guys that were already here. So it's nice. And then when everyone else started getting in, and then all the Brits moved on, Hoppo, Archie. I live with Archie. He's like I've known him since I was like 14, and then I hang about with Masher almost every day, and Easy. We were together last night, so it's always nice just always having like people in the team.
It keeps it easy. I was going to say because there's quite a bit of experience there. You talk about David Clements and the experience he has and where he sits within that sort of that Coventry setup. But when it comes to yourself, who are you learning from there? Which is there any player there that you're keeping an eye on, going, that's the way I want to do that. I want to do something like that. I want to be able to have that turn. I want to have that move in my stick. Is there anybody that you're keeping your eye on that you think you're learning from?
Yeah, there's a couple of guys. My linemate Mike Pellick, he's obviously just played his 1000th league game. I love watching him, just seeing how he reads the game because he played long enough, so surely he knows something. Then Mack Gleeson, I like watching Mack Gleeson.
He's a great player. Great player.
And we're like the same build and stuff, so just try and see what he does, the way he moves around the ice. It's incredible. But I try and take some things out of his game.
Of course, Mike Pellick's the second best Pellick to play in the Elite League after his brother who captained our side. But yeah, that's brilliant. And so coming back into Belfast this weekend with the Coventry Blaze side, how you've come off the back of what 2 4-point weekends? Confidence must be high on that side.
Yeah, I mean we started the year off pretty good, and then we had that tough spell where we had all our injuries, so we knew that we had it in us. So I think it's from the first game of 2026, we've got a point in every game. So the boys are energy's high in the room. Like everyone's laughing, smiling, having jokes all the time. We're going out. We all went to Cov City game the other night. It was pretty fun. Nice team bonding. Yeah.
Nice. Not the one against Norwich. No.
That
didn't go well last night.
No, we don't talk about that.
Mack, you've obviously I know you've got a few games in between, but you're going to be facing Belfast 4 times in the next 3 weeks. But like a mini playoff series, but obviously, you know, you've got a chance, and then your Blaze teammates have got a chance to, you know, get into a cup final in 2 of those games. Is that something that you're talking about in the room at the minute, or are you still just trying to take it game at a time?
Yeah, we're talking about it because we obviously know we play Belfast 4 times, so we're and obviously every team wants a chance to win a trophy, so it's a big priority for us, the Challenge Cup. But the way our league run's been going, I think we're just going 1 game at a time. We don't need to worry about like anything right now. But for us, yeah, Challenge Cup, because obviously our bad run put us out of the league. We can't really contend for it anymore, so we still have a shot there. Two trophies.
One last thing, obviously, we've seen in the last number of weeks Carter get a couple of goals for Belfast and do well. Do you guys still have a bit of a bit of chat between you, a bit of crack between you, have a bit of sort of back and forth?
We talk every day. Yeah, I'm so happy seeing him, like how well he's done. It's so good. I remember he scored his first goal. I called him on his drive home, and he was buzzing. You could hear him smiling through the phone. So I'm just proud of him. He's doing pretty good in Solway as well. So hopefully he gets. I was hoping he was playing on Friday, but I don't know. I don't know what it is yet.
What's brilliant, and I'm sure Simon or Davy will want to follow up on this, but you know, he's seeing lads like yourself, seeing lads like Carter, seeing lads who've, you know, we've given that we've had 25 years of the Belfast Giants, and we look at the players who come through. We looked at Gareth Martin, who we have on here quite often, and as part of our team, and you know, Mo, Wally, and things. But to see these are lads who were, you know, learning to skate and learning to play before the Giants were about. You are part of a system that happened after the beginning of the Giants, and to see lads like yourself, lads like Carter, lads like Kel, who have done so well. Like, if we got pictures of you boys like this size, like when we're winning trophies,
they're still that size, Paddy.
I know, but it's great. But I know you play yourself, but it's great to see lads who have come through, like playing in the Donald Ice Bowl, being able to come out and play in the elite league as competently as well as you boys are.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I think the Junior Giants are just developing more and more every year. Me and my dad talk about it, and then obviously coach the summer camps, and like some of the kids are pretty good now. Like, you've got Shane Johnson's kid, Jonah, Kel's brother. Like, they're 2 pretty good prospects coming up, and there's a couple more that I can't name all of them, but they're just 2 guys who came to mind that I think are going to be very good.
Did I see Jonah signed in Edinburgh?
Yes.
Yeah, he signed SNL.
Malamatching's first game, Malamatching's first game.
Yeah,
They're getting some crowds up there as well now in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
They're doing well. I say Adam Robinson's playing there as well with them in that setup. But yeah, no. Well, let's admit, we appreciate you coming and joining us and have a chat. It's good to see you. We don't wish you well on Friday night, but you'll do that, get a bit of chirping. But good luck. Good luck through the season, mate. Hope you do well.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, Mack.
Before we get into little bits and pieces of news, just who wants to start? Mack Stewart doing well.
Great,
very well. And as you were saying there, Paddy, you take these North Americans, come over, Europeans like Marcus, to come over. You take them to your heart and you get behind them because they're representing our city, and you fall in love with many of them. But there's nothing like a young lad from East Belfast or North Belfast, like Kel, you know, coming and representing your city, because you just feel more of an identity with them. You want them to do well. They're almost against the odds breaking through in the pro game. It's a lot of credit to their families for the way they've been brought up. And, probably Jordy and Julie and Rob and all the different ones that have put stuff into these kids that, through the years, and they're now representing Belfast. Mack, obviously, with Coventry at the minute, you never know. We'll maybe see him back in the number 86 shirt someday, and Dale and Tommy and Carter and all these boys doing it. It's over now. So, yeah, you feel an identity, you feel an affinity with them that wee bit more than, Train and Wally and all these boys that play for us tomorrow. So, yeah, hope to see them back in Belfast Gates someday.
It's something, Kitty, that we're chatting to Nicholas Guay and his French Canadian accent, that we're chatting to, whoever in their North American accent, that we're chatting to Marcus Ericsson, who we'll talk about in a second, and his accent. But then you chat to the likes of Cal, you chat to the likes of Carter, you chat to the likes of Mack, and they're speaking back to you in your own accent. And when you're talking about the hockey game, it's just great.
Yeah, they're doing really well. I mean, young Mack, again, I've known him since he was a knee-high to a grasshopper. And the same with Carter. I've known Carter's family even long before the arena was built. And Kale's doing great. Kale's doing really, really well. He's like, he's on the top pair, and Solway he's getting 23, 24 minutes a night. And I know that Spud Grubb, there's coach up there, thinks really, really highly of him. So, the unfortunate thing for Kale this year is, defensively, we've been strong, and we haven't had an opportunity to bring him over. Whereas, likes of young Carter's had a chance because we've been low with the injuries on forward. So it's Kale's going to get his chance. Make no mistake about it. He's going to get an opportunity. Carter's going to get an opportunity. I'd love to see Mack back in Belfast down the line as well. But at the minute, I really do believe that he's in a really good spot in Coventry, and he's getting regular ice time, which is going to help him progress and develop. And, I think it's on for the hockey in Northern Ireland looks bright. And, when you do look at the likes of Jonah Johnson, you do look at even Max Mason at the minute, he's only 11 years of age, but he's, another 7-8 years time, he's going to get bigger, and he's got, well, I mean, not get bigger, but he's going to, he's going to progress for sure. I mean, his dad's not a giant, as in height-wise.
Yeah.
And nameplates and alumni, Jeff Mason's right up there with the best that's ever played in Belfast. I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes next with the junior Giants and having the opportunity. And then, I don't know if you touched on it a couple of weeks ago with regards to, there was 5 of them who went over to the Red Bull for a week in Austria. And they basically spent a lot of time doing the coaching over there. The coaches were learning, the players were learning. There was like the development camp for them there. And that's something that was organised through the EHC back when they were here in October. So things like that are definitely good for the organisation. They're good for, for developing Northern Irish hockey. But it's really vitally important that we do find more facilities available for these kids to skate on, because, as I say, Dundonald they're getting a new pad built, but having one ice rink in Northern Ireland, or and when you look at the length of Ireland and Northern Ireland as a whole, having one ice rink is it's criminal. So hopefully that's not too far away regarding news of the sport being developed.
But and given that is the case, seeing guys like Kel and Mack and Carter and all these, and Adam and Jonah and doing well, just shows just how well they've done coming out of that setup to be able to play. And we hear that from Scott Finlay, obviously a part of the Coventry setup, saying that he's very happy with how Mack's doing in Coventry, and more power to him. Hope Mack continues to develop really well, and then comes back to play for us.
It's nice to have a farm team, isn't it?
One thing, just a comment, just to pick you up on a comment, says you said something there that something earlier on, and you're right. Defensively, I think we're looking really, really strong, which is great to see. However, Reid Irwin played 25 minutes on 25 minutes. Gabe Bass played 7 minutes on Sunday night. They played 23 minutes on Sunday night. They're logging up the minutes. Is there no place for just taking that time and sort of keeping the legs fresh? Like you said about Kel, we are strong, but would Kel not come in and take time, defensively to stop. It's 27 minutes, a lot of time for Game Pass to be logging in the game.
Yeah, it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not. When you're talking about Kel coming in and taking 6 or 7 minutes, don't forget the Elite League rules are only allowed a certain amount of players on the bench. So if they were allowed 21 players and you're allowed to play, like they have 7 defensemen and 13 forwards, this game would be a hell of a lot easier. But they're limited to what the actually players that you can actually put on the bench in this league. So and we've talked about this numerous times before. With the likes of Kel coming up, making that step up from Solway to the EIHL and play for the Belfast Giants, it's not just a little step; it's a massive step. And the speed of the game, Kel is a fantastic skater. It's probably one of his best attributes, in my opinion. He sees the ice really well, but I think his skating ability's really, really good. But it is a massive step up. And yes, you do need that opportunity to get those games in there. But right now, again, even on Sunday, he was playing for Solway, so he couldn't play for Belfast. Wednesday night, yeah, maybe he could have got in there, but we had 12, 6 and 2 from 12 forwards, 6 defensemen and 2 forwards on in Guildford, I believe. So it's all those little things that do need to be put together for him to play well and to get the opportunity. I'm a firm believer that if you're only going to come in and you're going to play a minute, especially in a building like Manchester, I don't think you should be there. Don't, basically concentrate on what you're doing in Solway. Mikel's going to get his chance. Make no mistake about it. He's going to get his chance. I do believe that he'll come good and be able to play at this level. But right now, again, we've 6 defensemen. We've got Roche, who's not far away and coming back as well. Kel's basically number 8 right now. Kieran Long dropped back and played D when Bo Hansen got the 5-minute major the other night for fighting, although it was more handbags. But when you've got that depth available to you, and obviously the Adam and the coaches, it's very, very difficult to give an opportunity to a young Brit coming into the league. And I'd love to see it. I love seeing Carter on the ice. I love seeing Mack as a Belfast Giant. I love seeing Kel playing when he's playing. And even the likes of, we've had a couple of the English kids come over and have a couple of games before. It's not the same feeling. You want the kids that are, but it's not. You know what I mean?
I totally understand.
Mitchell King comes in. He played a couple of games, got an assist against Fife last season. Played really well when we were really short. For me, it's not the same. You see those kids that grew up watching the Belfast Giants, wanting to be a Giant, and you see, how passionate they are for playing, and even only getting 3, 4, 5 minutes. So they're going to get their opportunity. They just have to bide their time.
Davey, you had your hand up at the start of that.
That's all right. Simon said exactly the same thing. We're on the same page.
Simon mentioned the size of the bench. Unfortunately, the size of the roster has reduced by 1 as of today, with Marcus Eriksson heading back to Sweden for personal reasons. He leaves us having done phenomenally. Was it 43 games, 9 goals, 23 assists for 32 points, only 6 minutes in the penalty box. Well done. Davey, I'll start with you in this. We spoke only last week about how he'd formed a brilliant sort of chemistry with Ryan Smith of late, and the two of them playing so well. He goes with our thanks and our best wishes.
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate timing all around. He's obviously got personal stuff between the club that he's got to go and deal with. So whatever that is, we wish him well with it. And he's signed on his hometown team in Sweden, so he'll be able to be at home a bit more. So that's good for him. So good for him. Thanks for making Belfast part of your story. An absolute gentleman away from putting his skates on. So, just doing nothing but wish him well. He had, as you said, at times through the season been really, really good. Made some really good connections with other guys on the ice. And he was a good player for us and never let us die. So good luck to him.
One of those Rolls Royce players says, 40 years old, knew exactly how to play. About the fact that 23 assists. He and some of them of late just beauty plays.
Listen, he sent us a lovely message earlier on, thanking us for helping him while he was here. Great lad, really, really great lad. Obviously he's heading back for personal reasons, and those reasons, unless he wants to come out and say what they are, will remain private for him and his family. And he's just a real good lad. When you think back to August when coming in, you sign a 40-year-old, you're sitting going, really? I mean, what? And then we seen him on the ice in the first 2 days, and everybody wanted to play with him. Everybody. Scott Conway was basically saying, "Oh, look, can you just leave Goody and pick over there and let me play with him? He's going to, give me 100 points this year." And unfortunately, that hasn't turned out for either of them. But our Marcus you just touched on a Rolls Royce player, and just a really nice. Look, typical Swede. Nothing really got to him. Very relaxed and never asked for anything from off the ice side of things, and just the nicest guy, and he genuinely will be missed. I mean, he wanted to go back last week, and then the injury to Carson, he picked up an injury last week, and he basically said, "Look, I'll stay for the weekend and help." Obviously you're going to be short, so he ended up staying for the extra 2 games there at the weekend, which was massive for us. And obviously got that goal, got the game, the man of the match on Saturday night. Thought he was outstanding Saturday night. But he'll be sorely missed. And I'm one of the lads that Davey just touched on. We thank him for his time as a Belfast Giant, and again, hopefully, he goes on to more success. He still wants to keep playing, man. He still wants to play into his 40s, and here's hoping.
He signed a deal until the end of next season. So it's like to give him an 18-month contract. So good luck.
Yeah. Do you know what? I really enjoyed watching him play. I thought he was a superb player for the Belfast Giants, and he does go with our best wishes and our thanks for what he has been part of this season. And hopefully, towards the end of the season, we'll be putting a medal into the post and sending it to Sweden. Belfast Giants play the Coventry Blaze on Friday night, and they're at home before facing the Glasgow Clan at home on Sunday. And the Glasgow Clan, subject of a bit of news today with Corey Nielsen departing the club. Whether that was mutual or not, I have no idea. Some people think that maybe it was not. The Glasgow Clan currently sit in 8th position, 31 points off out of 32 games. There is lots of rumours flying about the replacement. One rumour of which is that Pete Russell has just been sacked by his team in DEL2 as of today. So the potential that maybe Pete Russell will be heading back to Braehead to take part in that. I'm not going to dwell too much on Corey Nielsen. I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. Like you look at the fact that last season they got themselves into 7th place. They went out and they went out in the semi-final of the quarterfinals of the playoffs. Didn't do much, and this weird thing of they recruited a hell of a lot of players back again, having finished 7th, and now they're surprised that they're in 8th. I'm not surprised. Are you?
Don't really care.
I knew that was coming. Do you know what? As I was asking the question, I'm thinking, come on, Simon, give us an answer. Give us an answer, Simon.
Like, this is the bit of the show. I know Davey's not, talking about. There's 10 teams in this league. I couldn't care less about 9 of them. As far as I'm aware, it's all about the Belfast Giants. We play Coventry on Friday night. And that's what we're concentrating on. The rest of them doesn't matter. The Glasgow Clan, if you want me to expand a wee bit on it, they've got a number of good players. Corey Nielsen, he did well for them coming in, but that's their decision. If they bring Pete in, they bring somebody else in, I honestly couldn't care less. As long as it's not going to be Adam Keefe get in there, I couldn't give 2 hoots.
David, do you want to say anything in regards to Corey Nielsen departing from the Glasgow Clan?
I concur with my good friend. All his statements I will back up.
Right. Well, in which case then,
you have at it. I'm gonna mute my mic, put the kettle on, and you have at it there, Kev.
I don't know what they were expecting. You finish 7th in the league. You struggle to get into position. You don't. Then you sign. You retain the actual coach. You sign a lot of the same players. You have the same captain, and you expect it to be different. I thought that the recruitment. I had a chat with this with another, I'll say, unnamed friend, and I agreed with him. I thought the recruitment was lazy, and it's not a surprise that they are where they are now. What I am also going to flip onto is this open letter that was stuck on Twitter, and I don't know where to start. It's that we're writing to you today as a loyal supporters who want nothing more than for the Glasgow Clan to be a powerhouse of British hockey. Well, you're miles off it, mate. And this open letter, which attacks the organisation, said our primary concern is the Glasgow Clan is drifting away from being a professional hockey team and toward being a family entertainment venue. While we appreciate the effort to create an inclusive game night experience, there's a growing fear that the organisation is now more focused on a good night out than on building a winning culture. I think you totally misunderstand how hockey teams work. The idea that because the Glasgow Clan are having a Clangus night, that all of a sudden that Corey Nielsen's not being backed financially, or that there's a reason right back there, Davy. There's a reason that's the reason why your team aren't performing is nonsense. It's complete and utter nonsense. It's
Here's a stat for you. I was told this the other night. And the last, forgetting about, actually including this weekend's games, the last 20 games of each of of Dundee, Glasgow, and Fife, so 60 games altogether, they've only got 16 wins in total for Scottish hockey from 60 games.
Yeah.
So,
that's a reflection. But my point here is that this open letter from respectfully your loyal fan base, I'd love to know how many people are actually involved in this. It's no doubt a vocal minority, considering that there are thousands attend the Braehead on a regular basis. But the idea is that when the club's focus shift towards marketing the mascot and merchandise more than the player's performance, the competitive standard begins to slip. This entertainment-first approach sends a message to the players, the staff, and the fans that winning is secondary to engagement. It doesn't. This is my favorite part. This is most evident from following a losing weekend. When the team suffers heavy defeats, the social media activity on Monday morning often carries tones of never mind, quickly pivoting to the next sales pitch. It's social media. What do you want them to do? Spend 3 days crying, self-flagellation, and begging forgiveness from the fan base? You throw the puck in the bin and you move on to the next game. That, my friend, is sport. That's how it works. What are you wanting here? The idea that Corey Nielsen's ability to bring in any player is somehow hampered by the fact that they're having a Clangus night, or that the players on the ice are somehow losing because the focus is more from the outside on having like themed jumpers, is for the birds. You need to get a grip. I understand that this is a standard elite league sort of fan approach, that when things are going wrong, you point at all the other things and you say, oh, it's like we get it ourselves. Oh, we have like 100 coaches on the bench. That's the reason we're losing games. No, it's not. We're losing games because we didn't perform in that game, and the players didn't get the win. The idea that having a themed night or having a different jersey or having a Clangus night is it somehow affecting the fact that is the reason why you're losing games is nonsense. You're losing games because you didn't bring in the players that can come in and compete in this league. That Corey Nielsen was lazy in his recruitment, and that you brought back the players who only got you to 7th, and now you're sitting in 8th. Do me a favour. And we play the.
You need a hug.
we play the Glasgow Clan on Sunday, the 1st of February at 4 p.m. Get yourself down there to the SSE Arena. I read my way through this open letter, and I'm thinking, come on, seriously.
But this is why. See, this is the first thing you've done wrong is read exactly what's happened.
I know.
That's your first mistake. If it's anything about, I keep on saying this to you. I genuinely couldn't give a toss about the other 9 teams in the league. I don't care.
But Simon, I enjoy what I've just done.
No, I know you do. You love
getting that. I enjoy that element of it. It's like
you absolutely do.
It's like. There's a comment there that Finn and Fanula night could derail our season. It's total nonsense. I find it there.
Jasmine's just seen the setup. Jasmine's just
Hi, Jasmine.
I'll take a photograph and send it to you. Just move over there. Close the bloody door. It's freezing.
Listen, Pistol Pete might be back in Glasgow. Let's see what he can do with the side that was put together. I think that they have some good players in there, but the fact that they retained so much that and now they're expecting for a different result.
But in all fairness, Clangus is the best thing in Glasgow. So,
I say Clangus night. Oh, I'm all for it.
Clangus is great crack.
Our club have it. Every club has it. Are our theme nights derailing our season? Are we too focused on the fact that we're having a cowboy night, or that we're having air ambulance night, or that we're having no, because that's not how hockey works. It's not. So you can think that the focus of the organization is on something like on the commercial element. It's not, because the guys on the ice are trying to win. Your coach is trying to win, but they just don't have the tools to do it. Watch us lose on Sunday night. Let's hope not. Dear. Right. Any other business, boys?
No.
I've just seen Jasmine's picture. That's brilliant.
I've not seen it.
It's on the WhatsApp.
You should get that, Paddy, and get on. Yes. Any other business, Patrick?
That's going on. Yes. So, go on.
While you're cutting and pasting that, happy birthday.
Oh, well, I've got the picture. I've got the picture for what you're about to say. Hold on.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I shall wait.
Happy birthday to. I'll show the image. I'll see if Simon can guess who it is.
I know who it is.
Oh, you know who it is.
I think I know who it is.
Happy birthday to. Who is it?
Colin Shields.
Yeah. Happy birthday to our former number 19. His number hangs in the rafters. Paisley's own Colin Shields. Born in the 1980s. We'll say that. Still a big number, but congratulations on your birthday, mate, and many happy returns.
Happy birthday, Colin Shields. The still number one goal scorer for the Belfast Giants, and that'll probably last for a long time. But before we move on, I am going to show Simon. For those who are watching on, as opposed to listening on,
in my defence,
there is no defence. Here it is. There it is. There he is. He's
absolutely.
Simon has his laptop on his ironing board. Do you know what, mate?
I don't want to do the ironing afterwards.
Mate, if it works, it works. Fair play. Mate.
Absolutely.
Anything from yourself, mate, before we wrap it up?
No, I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm away next week to Lanzarote, so I just seen somebody smart ass comment. Who was it, Anthony Heron? About doing a fake tan before I go away. That's hilarious.
All being well, I shall see you on Friday myself, because I'm hoping to hopefully flying back on Friday morning. Just for the one game, I'll not go to the clan game just in case somebody lynches me on the way in.
on the news that Simon Kitchen's here, we may well have a brand new third wheel next Wednesday night or next Tuesday night. Right. But just watch this space.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll introduce a new panelist, maybe if they're available. But yes, nothing more from you, Davey. No, to the games this weekend are against the Coventry Blaze on Friday night. We'll see Scott Finlay and Anthony Russell both over that weekend as well. And then Glasgow Clan 4 p.m. at home on Sunday. Get yourselves tickets to that. The crowds have been phenomenal, Simon, as they always are. Simon. Nope, he wasn't listening.
All right, see you.
Because they always are. Get yourself.
I was listening. My battery's about to die.
All right, bye, Simon. Bye, Simon. Get yourself tickets down there, and if not, you can get it on Giants TV with the boys. And big thanks to Mack, Stewart, and a big thanks to Nicholas Guay for coming to join us. You can get us at AVFTV on Twitter. That's a new look, anyway. At AVFTV on Twitter. You get us on Facebook, on X, and all the normal sort of really good podcast providers. Thanks to you, David. Good to see you.
Happy birthday, Cameron Pound, for yesterday as well.
Happy birthday, Cameron, former Belfast Giant Cameron Pound, for yesterday. And wherever you are this weekend, we hope you enjoy your hockey. We'll catch you here next time on A View from the Bridge.